Welcome back to another episode of Generation Shock. You know we on fire.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
That's right. We're back on all your screens, if you know what I mean. The boys are back in town, and we better than ever. We've been gone for a little while due to some different things, but new year, new us. Well, new year, same us, maybe. Who knows? But I'm excited to be back. As always, I am accompanied by the youngest looking man alive, my boy, Messiah. What's up?
What's going on? I miss everybody.
Yeah. And then as always, for those of you who don't know who I am, but how the hell don't you? It's me, the monster on the mic. It's Sheck Monster. Oh, wrong drop. Been a while.
It's been a while.
Shows how long it's been when I give myself the womp womp. Oh, my goodness.
So how you been, man?
Oh, my life has been crazy, man. Been dealing with a lot of personal things. So unfortunately, a little bit, put me in a little bit of a funk in my life. And I've found out I eat my feelings.
Really?
And well, I've weighed the most I've ever weighed in my entire life.
Wow.
So part of my journey this year with the show is going to be try to make a journey of transformation into a healthier version of myself.
Okay, that's good.
So, hopefully as the shows progress throughout this year, start to see me thin down, shrink down, and get back to fighting weight. But I'm currently weighing the most I've ever weighed in my entire life. It's been some rough times, but I want to thank everybody out there who sent me love and support. Were there for me, for different things. Things aren't over, but they're at a point where all I can do is move forward. So, I took care of the things I had to take care of to help out. And now
that's good.
I have to continue on with my life. So that's why I was like, let's get this show back on the road. Cheers.
Cheers.
I changed up the drink mixture.
What you got?
So in the attempt to live a healthier life, I decided I was doing some research about healthier drinks.
Gin and tonic? I get it.
Well, I don't do tonic. I do soda water.
Yep. That's
with lime.
That's an alternative, yes.
Yep. Because soda water doesn't have as much sugar.
Yep.
So what I ended up getting was some lime soda water because I didn't have any limes at the house, but I have lime soda water. Yeah. So a shot of gin with lime soda water. And I will say I tried it for the first time on Monday, right? How about that national championship? Jim Harbaugh got it done. Big shout outs to Michigan.
I heard about that. Somebody was like, yo, you see Michigan?
Dude, this dude missed the first 3 games of the season from being suspended, missed the last 3 games of the season from being suspended, and still went 15-0. Talk about the culture he built with his team that year.
That's exactly it. It's the culture.
So big shout outs to him. But yeah, I was watching the game at Gators and ordered a couple of these to try them out for the first time. Bro, I don't know. I must have went like 10 deep because it was buy one, get one.
They creep up on you, bro.
Holy hell. Was I a little tipsy leaving the bar that night? That was fun.
They creep up on you. How far is the bar from you?
Like 10, 15 minutes. It wasn't bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, I wasn't that bad. I couldn't drive. I'm just saying I was surprised I felt the buzz. That's all. So,
I mean, it's my favorite drink. And I love the way my wife makes it. Ask Kenny. Kenny wasn't a fan of gin and tonic. And then one day he came over and the wife made it. And he was like, man, this is delicious.
I don't even taste the alcohol in it. It's weird.
No?
It's scary.
You to put enough in it.
Listen, I didn't taste the alcohol Monday night. And
yeah, it's the right balance. Finding the right balance.
So, but I'm getting into it. I'm trying it. What gin do you recommend? Just curious.
Hendrick's. My favorite.
Of course, you would go for the top shelf.
Well, it's the best one.
It might be.
Listen, I've tried them. I've tried, I think it was Monkey. I've tried Tanqueray. Tanqueray's not bad. I've tried Bombay. I've tried them all. And my favorite is Hendrick's.
What about Aviation?
I haven't tried that one yet.
Because that's the Ryan Reynolds one, I think.
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds one. I haven't tried
that one. Yet. I didn't buy, but I should have. But that one's a good price. And then it was New Amsterdam's the one I got.
Okay.
So
what's up? Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, Natasha. What up, Biden?
Biden's on too.
Yeah, Biden's on. Biden? Listen, me and Biden, we've been going at it on the private messaging. Oh, how much am I weighing, bro? When I tell you, Biden, that it got bad because of things that have been going on in my personal life. For those of you who don't know, I left work for about a month and a half. Just got back, and so now I'm back to this. I'm pushing 200.
Really?
Most weight I've ever had in my life.
Oh wow!
I'm about 200, little bit, right around there. It's the worst I've ever been. So my goal is to push through it and get through onto and get back to 160.
So how was it hitting the floor again?
Huh?
How was it hitting the floor again at what you're at now?
It was different. Oh, stupid 5'3". This guy's always got jokes. You're not far off. Yeah, it's bad, Biden. It's the worst it's ever been in my life. It was weird going back to work after being gone for so long. I'm not going to admit. I'm starting to get my groove back into it though, and getting the hang of it. It's just it's one of those things.
You guys got the shout out for the best baskets home theater.
Oh yeah, I don't fucking pay attention to that shit. So anyway, back to the sports though. But yes, big thing. I guess we do a sports. We would want to do the sports intro. We just want to keep on going with sports.
Yeah.
Thank you, Natasha. I really was happy. A lot of people reached out and supported me and offered help. It's just, I know these things happen in life, but it was one of those things that it was unexpected because it was he went in for a simple procedure, or not simple, but he went in for a procedure and then never came out the other side of it in a good position, in a good place. But I got everything done with, that I could to help out with him and take care of him. And now we're just moving forward. So, but
yes,
on to other things. NFL season wrapped up.
Did you do the intro for your sports?
Oh, I can do the intro. I didn't know if you wanted to. All right, let's go ahead. Let's kick the intro.
Gotta climb to the top, but we're never gonna stop. When the low, yeah, we going high.
We got to start getting back into the groove.
Yeah, get into the groove of things. You're right. Big announcement for everybody who cares, because I know everybody does. For the first time in history, I did the unthinkable. Those of you who watch the show have known I've talked about my fantasy football league for a long time. Been in it for like 8 years.
Isn't Biden in that with you?
No, Biden's not in that.
Oh, okay, I thought he was.
Kenny's in it, along with Chris, who's usually on here. He's not on here right now, but he might be. I don't know. But Chris is usually also. But yeah. I climbed the mountain. Fantasy champ, baby.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Took the fucking title home. I'll be buying a trophy and a ring, and when I get them in the mail, I'll be showing them off to everybody, so don't worry. Super excited, though.
That's actually...
But sports.
I don't win shit like that, so I don't even bother playing.
Dude, it took me forever to win. We are... Oh, man, NFL's over, and the shit has hit the fan today. Have you heard about all the shit that went down?
Nope.
Okay.
To be honest,
so let's start with
when you talk shit about it.
So number one, do you hear about Mike Vrabel getting fired from Tennessee Titans?
Nope.
He got
That's
canned.
Interesting. Fired?
Fired. Not released. He decided to fire him. But what's crazier is two huge names decided to leave the game of football today.
Like players or coaches?
Coaches. Because it's the coach season. Pete Carroll left. He's going to be in the front office, but he's no longer the coach.
Okay.
The Seattle Seahawks. And probably the biggest shakeup in football, Nick Saban stepping down and retiring.
Really?
Yeah.
He's leaving
Alabama. Right? The greatest college football coach in history has decided to call it quits.
Ooh. You think this really quits, or this controversy that he's trying to keep hush-hush?
There was no controversy around him. Harbaugh, on the other hand, there's a lot of controversy around Harbaugh going on, and they're thinking about that's why he might go to the NFL and pull Pete Carroll, because when Pete Carroll had some shit happen to him, he decided to leave college and go to the NFL, so they couldn't go after him. So there's some talk about some shit like that going down, though.
Okay, that's interesting.
So, yeah, Steve Spurrier, he's been out for a while, but nice try. Biden. So yeah, definitely some craziness been going around the NFL. Coaching carousel is in full effect. We got the playoffs starting this week. Super excited about watching that.
I'm not that excited about it, but I'll watch it.
Bro, I know you guys get the 3rd overall pick in the draft. You guys suck. And you may need a new coach.
But we can't even
the good news is you guys get rid of
that right.
If Belichick leaves, you guys do have variable probably.
But I don't think he'll leave. I think he'll step up and step out of the coaching part. He'll just do management as far as drafting and all that.
That would be the worst thing possible for you guys.
Think so?
He's the worst GM, bro.
I can see that.
Think about his
He doesn't have
draft
to
picks.
spend
Think
the
about
money.
selections.
He
He's
doesn't like to spend
not
the
good
money.
at that.
Could you imagine Brady as a coach?
No.
No.
Couldn't.
Okay.
No. I couldn't see that. But
How about Prime,
Prime's doing great. He's doing his
NFL
thing.
coach?
Imagine him going to Alabama.
I don't know. It's too high. It's too high of a school for him to just go straight over there.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Anything else in the sports we got?
No. Besides all,
Trying to think what else. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, there's really not much else going
spending.
popping off in the sports world that much. All right,
Yeah.
so let's get back into it. Let's get this show on fire, and let's start with some of our topics. What do you got that you want to talk about first?
Well, we have the Katt Williams shit that broke the internet. I want to talk about that shit. That shit is crazy.
Bro, tell everybody a little bit about that shit.
All right,
Biden's a non-believer, by the way. I'm
guys-
just going to throw it out there before we start.
What happened?
Biden's a non-believer.
He's a non-believer of what? All right. So here's what I think, right? It was actually 7 days ago, or about 6 days ago. Anyways, I go to YouTube and I see Club Shay Shay, and then I see this guy, Katt Williams, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Let me watch this. And I started watching it, and from the minute I started watching it, it's fucking crazy. Katt Williams is upset because there's a lot of shit that's being said that's incorrect according to him. You know, I'm quoting Katt Williams. A lot of shit that's being said about him that's incorrect, and he's out there to, you know, like he said, 2024 is the year of the truth. So he's out there talking, bro, talking crazy shit. Did you get to watch it? I put it on the group.
Yeah, I watched that. I think all but like the last 10 minutes I got cut off, but yeah, I watched almost all of it.
But isn't it interesting? I mean, did you try to at least debunk his shit? To see if
I
it's true?
looked, and other than like Ludacris didn't really debunk his comments.
Nope.
Because he didn't really talk a lot of trash about Ludacris that much, but Ludacris made that rap video, but no, nobody really debunked it. I didn't hear like Ice Cube came out and didn't really say anything against all the comments about that. I forget the guy's name who played the Santa Claus.
This guy, oh man, I forgot his name.
I can't remember his name either, but
he
he didn't
was,
say anything. Huh?
No, it wasn't Nick Cannon.
No, it was somebody else.
Oh.
I have to look it up. I haven't heard any disputes about that at all.
Nope.
Everybody he talked about
Smiley,
as far
Ricky
as
Smiley, that's his name, Ricky Smiley.
Ricky Smiley. Yeah. I didn't hear anybody come out and say anything against the Ricky Smiley comments whatsoever.
Nope.
I didn't hear anybody. I didn't hear Kevin Hart debunk it. Never once did he say it's not true.
Well, he hasn't said anything about it either.
That's what I'm saying.
But the crazy shit that he said that what he put out there, he's saying that Kevin Hart is a plant, and it makes a lot of sense. It's fucking crazy. He pointed it out and all that, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But you also see an interview the interview that happened a long, long time ago. I think it was on a radio station. Kevin Hart is talking about him saying that he, studios were giving up on Katt Williams because he wouldn't show up for studios. He wanted to play certain roles, and because he was on drugs. So this is
that's what the certain roles thing tied back into the dress comments, right?
Yep.
That his refusal to do the dresses and
his
like
refusal
them
to get raped.
Yeah, so that was the
character
big
being
part
raped.
about the other guy that he talked about how the Money Mike character was supposed to get raped in the movie, and he said, "I ain't playing that role. Like, I'm not doing that. There's no need for me to. I'm not going to be partaking to that. I don't think it's proper." Like, he went on this whole stream about it, that he didn't want to. He didn't think that was something that's funny. It didn't add comedy to the show, and he refused to be that character and have that role with it, and they didn't force him. He made it very clear that he has standards that are worth more to him than money.
Yep.
That he was not going to allow
Do certain things.
Yep. And when you look at it, and he talks about all these comedians who had to, literally had to wear a dress for them to get, and you talk about the list of comedians who did, dude, it's never end. Like you think,
Yeah.
the thing is, it's all black. They're not going around making a bunch of white guys do it.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly though.
Well, not
because
all, but
if
I'm
you
saying,
watch,
you
if
know,
you watch the movie with the guy who does Naked Gun, right? And he has made movies where he's a girl. There was a movie where even Patrick Swayze was a female at once, right? And
well,
then,
keep in mind though, Patrick Swayze's not a comedian; he's an actor.
yeah, but there was a comedian. There was some comedy into the movie that like all of them dressed like females.
Correct, but what he's talking about is in order for a comedian to break into movies, they had to submiss and do that role.
Yeah.
An actor to do it's different. If you're acting, yes, Robin Williams was already, you could say he was one that maybe had to do it. He did because he did. But for the majority of comedians, white comedians, I don't know. I guess you just don't see it as much.
No. But he also said that Ricky Smiley, that's all the roles he plays is the old grandma. That's the only role he plays.
Yeah.
But the shit that he said about Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer is
well,
crazy.
that's because that's that little group, that little clip.
He said that little clip. But here's my question to you though: is it bad to have a clique in Hollywood?
No,
I mean
it was called
Adam
the Kings of
Sandler
Comedy.
has it,
They made money off of it.
Yeah, Adam
They
Sandler
went around and
has it.
toured together.
Yeah, of course. But I think what Katt Williams is talking about is that they're taking shortcuts. They help taking shortcuts to succeed. And he's like, I'm putting in, I've been putting in work and I continue to be putting in work. So there's no shortcuts to what I do. But what I say is, listen, it's I understand where he's coming from. I agree. I can hear what he's saying. But my thing is what's wrong with having a clique in Hollywood, bro? It's the only way you're gonna succeed and work together, right? Because you have Adam Sandler has his own group, right? You have
He has his clique.
Ice Cube has his own group that he always deals with and all that. So there's nothing. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, I thought it was funny when Ice Cube was talking about it, though. He does and he doesn't, because Ice Cube was like, yeah, it's funny. I put all these people in movies, but I ain't seen none of them call me up trying to put me in their shit.
Yeah, which is crazy, which is true.
So
and then when he asked Katt Williams about the comedians saying people saying that Ice Cube doesn't pay, I actually like the way he responded to that. He goes, because these people are very unappreciated. Right.
I will say I don't agree with Katt Williams about the taking shortcuts things and stuff like that. Like, you have to decide what career do you want. I think sometimes the thing that bothers me is there's a misconception about being a comedian and being an actor.
Yeah.
Right. If these people you're talking about who took shortcuts, they went into acting, not comedy.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to be a comedian, go do stand up, sell out arenas. You don't need to be doing movies and shit like that, right? If you want to get into the film industry, maybe you need to take shortcuts, right? If you want to get into television, maybe you need to get short. No one's telling you got to do that. Comedy doesn't mean, being a comedian doesn't mean you got to be on TV and in the movies, right?
Yeah.
Just like being a musician. Do all musicians, like, they play small venues? They're not out there selling out arenas every night, right?
Not all of them.
No. So you're telling me comedians can't go and do stand-up? Right?
Yeah, that's the part that I'm like, and so what? So what with that? But I think his biggest beef was they call him out on it. They call him out and they're talking shit about him, and they're trying to take. Not only are he's being blackballed from Hollywood and comedy, they're also trying to take money. They're also trying to keep him from eating, right? Because they continue with these lies that he's on drugs, that he's been in jail for so many times. Now, he has admitted that he has been to jail, but he goes, I've been locked up. The only thing I've been locked up for, he's like, I'm a person that I always carry 3 things. He says, my gat, my cigarettes, and my weed. So guess what? They're gonna arrest me for those 3 things, because I have those 3 things. So
but
I'm
there is
always gonna get arrested for that.
I get it, but there is something to be said. And then he may not. He talks about conforming or whatever else. I mean, it's only natural that unless you reach a certain level, which you have to take time to get there, that the juice is worth the squeeze, for say, right? Then guess what? People are gonna drop your look. Jonathan Majors just got dropped by Disney. And they created an entire 10 years of movies around this guy. And they fired him because he wasn't worth it. Yeah. Right? So unfortunately, Katt Williams, you got to conform at times. Like there is certain things, like if you're going to pop off at the mouth, if you're going to say certain things to disrupt the establishment, if you're going to be a problem on the set, yeah, man, like that's going to happen to some people. You're not going to be worth it. You're not drawing the big ticket enough. Like that's just the way the world works.
So Biden brings up a good topic. He says, "Are the Wayans brothers own because they dress like females?" And I'm like, well, they're their own crew too. They have to write their own shit. So
that shit. If you look at it, that shit went from that shit started way back when.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about his older brother and Jamie Foxx putting on the dress, right? That's so many levels before them.
It goes beyond that. Yeah.
So, because In Living Color was their older brother's show.
Yeah. So the shit that he brought up that's fucking crazy. He's like, they're telling my story. So for example, he goes, Steve Harvey's talking about being homeless. He's never been homeless. He was making this much. He goes like he was making $3,000 to $5,000 every night, and he was playing 5 nights a week, and so he's never been homeless. And he's like, and he's thanking the woman he's with because she made him who he is. And he's like, he said that shit about the first wife that he had. So he's just like calling. He goes, that's my life. I was homeless. And then he talked about Cedric the Entertainer. Taking his closing joke, which he did, because there's clips on it and all that, and he's just calling them out on it. He's like, "Hey, you guys are stealing my shit and making it seem like it's originally yours." And it's crazy.
Yeah, like, I mean, the thing is, though, the problem with intellectual enterprise, it's really hard to prove it.
Yeah, well, there's timelines, right? Everything now has a timeline, right?
Now it does, right? Because things can be filmed and documented. Bro, when Katt Williams was coming out, there was nothing to document timelines and shit. I mean,
that joke that he made about the car joke that he said that the guy who made Hanging with Mr. Cooper, the guy who helped him construct that joke, he was talking about when he did that joke, Cedric the Entertainer was there, and he's been to a couple of his shows, and then next thing you know, he's doing it in Kings of Comedy to close it. That's the other thing that he said. Steve Harvey stole the Mr. Cooper concept, and he made it his own. No,
shit happens all the time. Like but let me ask you this: have you never seen a movie come out or something, right? And then within the same amount of time, there's another movie that's almost identical or similar to that movie?
Biden. The difference is there's white actors versus white comedians. So he's talking about white comedians and he's talking about black comedians playing the sister role or the black female role. That's what he brought up. And he's like, Katt Williams also said he would not do a role of things that he's not. He doesn't agree with
cross-dressing. He doesn't agree with rape, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that would limit also your shit. Now you're limiting your role. So if Hollywood has a good role for you, right, and you have to be a female, you're gonna say no to it, and you're gonna continue saying no to it, and then guess what they're gonna say? Well, he's never gonna do it, so why bother giving?
But that goes back to my original point. So there's a difference in your background and upbringing depending on what your background of schooling is, right?
Yeah.
If you're a comedian. Mm-hmm. To you, okay, I'm from the street, like whatever. There's certain things I'm not going to do. Okay, fine. Guess what? Anybody who's an actual actor, which is why they're asking you to play a role, they're asking you to act, not be a comedian. This is the differential he doesn't get, right? That if you go back and you study drama, there were no females. It was only males. So it's a common practice in acting for men to dress like women, because there were only men doing acting, right? Yeah. So for people who grow up in it, the Patrick Swayze's, Denzel, not Denzel, who was also in it with Patrick Swayze? Man, I forgot his name. He went to jail for a while and got out. He was White Man Can't Jump.
Roke?
No, the guy from White Man Can't Jump. He went to jail for tax evasion. Huh?
Woody Harrelson?
No, Wesley Snipes. Wesley
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, that's right, because he did a cross-dressing, right?
Yeah.
But for them, they don't look at it in the same demeaning fashion, because they come from an acting background or that's an acceptable practice,
Well,
right? But the comedian doesn't understand that, right? The comedian sees it as, I'm not going to conform to the things you're looking for me to conform to.
yeah, like he like, well, Chris Tucker, because he mentioned Chris Tucker. He said Chris Tucker didn't want to play Smokey that role, but it was his breaking role that made him. He didn't want to play it, but he had to just to make it at least get his name on Hollywood like that. Because he's a I guess he's a very religious person. So after that, you don't see Chris Tucker in movies as much because he refused to play a drug addict. So he talked about stuff like that.
Everybody was wondering why he never played in any of the other Friday movies, right?
Yeah.
And he went on, and guess what? He was somebody who said, you know what? I understand the acting side of it. He dressed like a female for The Sixth Sense or the Fifth Element.
He did. No, he didn't play a female.
No, he dressed as a female. He had a dress on the whole nine yards.
But he was just being flamboyant.
Correct. But he still had to wear women's clothes.
Yeah. Well, it was part of his character as the radio host.
Yeah. But so
I just think that that whole thing in 3 days, in actually 6 days, it had 37 million views, bro. He broke the internet with that.
Yep.
And now he has people like going back, and he's gone viral, bro. And Shannon Sharp was like, he didn't expect it to be this big. He thought it was gonna be like 10 million and all that. Then when in less than 24 hours, it reached 10 million to the point where he was like, man, this is big, this is huge. And he predicted it was gonna be 20 million. It's already at 37. Well, now it's probably more.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy. Think about it, but that's just that site, right? How many times has this thing been clipped and repurposed? Yeah. Dude, there's probably close to 1 billion people have seen this easy. You know what I mean? Like you're just talking about that one platform where you watch the whole thing. Yeah. Forget about all the snippets and everything else that's out there everywhere that people are watching. This thing is crazy.
Yeah, it's just gone. But it could also be that it's very controversial. So controversy is always going to break the internet.
It's always going to sell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is what I didn't do and I should have done is I got the impression watching it that Shannon Sharp had the other guy on his show.
He had him.
And I didn't hear that one.
Steve Harvey. He had Steve Harvey there. He had Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley. And that's why Katt Williams had to go and clear his name because they all talked about him.
I want to hear what I got to go back and listen to see what they heard.
And think about this. And I said this. I was like, man, now people want like you. They're gonna go back watch the Steve Harvey interview, which is gonna get him more views because people want to really know what he did. So his effect is huge, right?
Oh yeah,
it's huge. It's like having the Taylor Swift in the NFL. Same effect.
Well, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but yeah.
Right,
so let me ask you, do you, because obviously Biden doesn't believe a goddamn thing that Katt Williams says. Do you believe the things that he's saying?
37 million Biden, it is breaking the internet.
Biden doesn't know about the internet. To him, if you don't hit it, so to him, because there's 7 billion people, viewers, so to his mind, because there's 7 billion people, he doesn't understand that out of 7 billion people, like 6 billion of them don't have the internet.
Yeah. Not only that, 37 million in 6 days.
Yeah. He doesn't understand the concept of the internet.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
No, we're not even going to entertain that part.
That's why I said, But do you believe the things do you think Katt Williams is telling the truth? What do you think?
I think he's defending his name. I think he wants to make sure that he lets people know that, hey, I'm still out here. I'm trying to eat and these guys are trying to keep me from eating. So he's letting out a lot of dirt out there, right? Because he's like, hey, if you're going to fuck with my plate, I'm going to fuck with yours. But honestly, it's not going to stop anybody from watching Steve Harvey. It's not going to watch anybody from watching Kevin Hart. It's not going to stop anybody from doing all that. So he did it just to I believe after this, he's going to get more on his, if he has a stand-up coming up, it's going to get him more views.
Well, here's the thing, though, I guess, and maybe I'm wrong, but who's watching Steve Harvey? Who's watching Cedric the Entertainer?
I mean, they have their own little spinoff.
Well, Cedric the Entertainer doesn't do anything that I know of. He's not even in the world. Steve Harvey, the only thing he does is stand up and host shit.
He gave him light again. He brought him up to the light, which is probably smart for them to do, right? Because they probably did it on purpose. They talk about him and all that because they know they're gonna come back and he's gonna it's like if you tease Eminem.
It looks like 37 million people in 6 days were watching Katt Williams.
What happened?
He said, "Who's watching Katt Williams?" I said, "About 37 million people in 6 days." I don't know.
Yeah, and Netflix wouldn't be paying him like he said. I mean, there's no way of me validating this, but for every special, Netflix has been paying him $10 million.
Well, he pays them for the specials. You just have to look and see how many specials he's got, right? It's easy.
Yeah.
So,
but do we know if it's 10 million? You know.
So, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. That we don't know. We don't know how much being
because those numbers are also either like stretched or marked down. I think Biden is the silliest dude I've ever met. So he thinks that 10% of America is a small number. Like, let me ask you, what one person do you know that's getting more than 10% of a nation paying attention to him? I don't know of anybody. Well, let's just say 10% of America gives him a dollar. It's not automatically going to make you $37 million. It's going to change your life.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who he thinks there's people out there who are getting more than 10% of America's attention. Like, are you freaking crazy? 10% of America? That's crazy. That's crazy. How many people are watching you then?
If it's America only.
Yeah, well, that's what he said, 10% of America. So we're going America. I just nobody, people's attention, like there's nobody in the world that gets.
That's bigger than some populations around the world.
You know what I mean? Like, he tries to minimize it. It's just so funny how he just tries so hard to make it like it's nothing.
Let's put it into dollars, right? Let's say $37 million. Would it change your life right now?
That's what I'm biting. That's what I'm asking you. Who do you know that's getting more than 10% of a country focused on them? I don't know anybody.
Yeah, besides politicians.
Right? Outside of politics, hell, I don't think Kim Kardashian gets 10% of America. I guarantee she probably gets like 3%. He's doing better than Kim.
Why does he keep bringing that up?
He's one of those people that when he realizes he doesn't make good points, he tries to spit lies out in order to win a case. Like, oh, that must be the reason. Oh, that must be he's just one of those people.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I laugh and ignore him. I love the guy though. I do. He brings topics up to me and we have fun with it. But yeah, he has nothing else to spit. So he tries to spit shit like this. So,
all right. So here's the thing though. Here's a question.
All right.
Since Tasha's here too, and Biden, you could probably talk about this too. Right?
Oh, I do have because he's talking about racist. I do have a topic I want to bring up about Star Wars in a second when you're done.
Okay. Recently we went diamond shopping, right? Or looking around, window shopping, right? And there's things now what's growing in popularity is lab grown diamond versus natural diamonds. What do you think, right? And then and the crazy thing about this, right? The day after that, I seen this thing on TMZ that they were comparing it because the popularity of lab-grown diamond has grown so much that it's actually putting a lot of people like I'll give you an example. My wife and I, we were driving and we heard a commercial from the International Diamond place, right? And they were dogging lab-grown diamonds, and then we both said at the same time, we was like, this sounds like a desperate commercial. Because he's a natural diamond seller, and now they're dogging lab-grown diamonds because it's actually growing in popularity, and it's crazy. So, what do you think?
Well, so here's the thing I look at, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, what value does a diamond have?
Whatever value we give it.
Exactly.
Whatever you're willing to pay for it.
Well, exactly. So here's the thing. If you, me, the 10% of America who follows Katt Williams right now, right? If you brought them a lab-grown diamond and you brought them a natural-grown diamond, right?
Yeah.
You put them side by side. Are they going to be able to know the difference?
Nope. And
When they go
crazy
to the
shit.
store, though, to purchase a lab-grown diamond and a naturally grown diamond, are they going to know the difference?
No.
Yes, they will.
No. Only
Because the
only
lab-grown is way cheaper.
Well, yes, in the price it is cheaper, but only like the people who measure stones and all that.
But that's my point. What I'm saying though is the reason why it's becoming popular is because people are starting to realize that it's super. Like, you know what? I could have a same great look and nobody's going to know the difference.
Nope. You can have the same carat, maybe even bigger, for less the price.
Right? And guess what? If you tell the person that's hanging out with you that it's real, are they going to know the difference?
Nope.
You know who? The only time that anybody's going to know the difference is when you go to sell it. If you go to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Then sure. But if you're going to be able to, if you're just doing it strictly to show off, do you know that 90% of celebrities are wearing fake jewelry when you see them in public?
Possibly.
No, it's not possible. Dude, they've done it. I've been, so many interviews have been going around lately, and I think it's because of this lab grown diamond bullshit that they'll say, I very rarely wear my real stuff out. It's not worth the risk when I'm in public.
Yeah.
For somebody to try to come at me over some shit, over a chain, over a watch, over a ring. Dude, that stuff, I wear it, but it stays at home. If I'm out in this, like in public, I'm not going to be I'm not doing that. The people who are now, don't get me wrong, there are those people who are still, hey man, they're, you know, they don't think about it like that, right? But I think it was even Keyshawn Johnson or somebody said, yeah, dude, I leave my real shit at home. Like unless I'm going like if I'm going to a party where I know people, an event like the Grammys, the Golden, like sports events, sure. But man, if I'm going out to the club, bro, you don't know who's in the, like what dude off the streets in the club. You think I'm rocking a $40,000 chain? Nah, dude, this is fake. Like it just looks exactly the same because they could have the money to get fake things made that look exactly the same.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, listen, I don't care because at the end of the day, like I said, who knows the value? Right?
Whatever you're willing to pay for it.
Because here's my question.
But the difference is that natural diamond are retain value more.
Yeah, that's why I said until you go to sell it. But here's my question. If you go to someplace to buy one, how are you to know the difference? How do you know that you're being told is a natural grown diamond is a natural grown diamond?
You don't. You have to have somebody like actually like take it to a
So what you're
place.
so how much is it going to cost you to bring somebody with you to tell you that's real?
We don't know that.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. So it's
but I don't think any company out there is willing to scam you.
There's companies every day that are scamming people, bro.
You actually think? I'm reading here. Sorry. Yeah. So like, that's a valid point, and that's what I was reading too. The difference between lab grown and natural diamonds, nobody can tell them apart unless you actually are the person that either sells it or the one cleaning them or making them yourself.
Yep.
But chemically, they're the same thing. The difference is one is lab grown and the other one is not.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking about cubic zirconia.
Zirconias.
Yeah, whatever it is. Like it's just shit's crazy.
And it's crazy.
It is.
And their uses, the chemicals are the same.
Yeah.
Now one is cheaper because there's more. There's an abundance of that. But here's the crazy thing, though. What do you think it does to the natural diamond business? Because these natural diamond. Because if you watch documentaries in the past,
Blood diamonds,
or the movie Blood Diamond, one of the things they do mention is a lot of these. The reason why the prices of diamonds are high is because these companies hold back on the amount that gets put on the market to give it the value, right? So, but now that they're competing against these lab growns, they can do two things. It can make theirs more expensive because now they're more rarer, right?
No, they're not.
Well, a natural diamond is
you understand? Just
more rare.
It's not more that. See that what you said is completely and utterly wrong.
If they're not controlling the amount that goes out there.
But what I'm saying is, if you bring in a different product, it doesn't make this product more rare.
You don't think so?
How?
Because it's a natural versus lab grown.
So hold on. So you're telling me now that we have the USF football in spring,
Yeah.
the NFL became more of a rare product?
It became more valuable.
No, it didn't. It diminished the value of it. That's what they're trying to say.
Things,
They're trying to say because the value of a product is the ability, is the quantity or the scarcity of getting it. But now if I have an alternative to get a product, I no longer need this product. That doesn't make it more valuable. That makes it less valuable because I no longer have a need or a want for that item, right? They're taking away the monopoly. So if spring football becomes extremely popular, people may say, I don't need to watch fall football because I can watch spring football.
But I give you, we'll use trading cards as an example. Shiny Charizard versus a regular Charizard. Which one has more value?
That's different. We're not talking but they're not the same. They're not equivalent
a natural
products.
diamond versus lab grown.
But it's still, but it's because one's taking the place of the other. Your cards, they're being used differently.
Okay, I feel it.
These products are being used exactly identical, right? So you're replacing one for the other. What you should be saying is what you were trying to get at. It should drive the price down, which is why they're upset. Why would somebody talk shit about a lab-grown diamond if it's going to make their diamond more valuable?
Yeah, that's what I found. I found that as a desperate ad commercial. I was like, man, this commercial sounded.
But that's why, because it actually lowers the value of the diamond because now people don't want it as much. It's the want that creates it. Think about it. People say there's enough gold out there. Think about it. If you go and you find an alternative, the moon is filled with nothing but gold, and we mine it and bring it back. Is gold going to be worth the same? No. The price of gold drops, right? So what do? Like you said, you hide the amount of gold that's out there in the world to make it a very scarce item. When you talk about your Pokemon cards, why does a Pokemon card become valuable? Well, the company, for whatever reason, even though they can make 10 million of them, they decide to make 10 of them and only 10 of them forever. Yeah. Why? Because they know that drives up the price. So like you said, what's happening is these diamond people who are hoarding them diamonds in order to have a long-lasting supply and make it where it's the same thing with fucking Apple, right? You're telling me Apple doesn't have the capabilities to make sure they don't sell out of a new phone?
Oof. Yeah. Speaking of Apple, the Vision's coming out.
But what do? Every year you can't get the phone for 6 months or 3 months, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Every year the phone's impossible to get. Why?
Well, the PlayStations, right? The PlayStation is a perfect example. They were hard to get during the season.
What happens if you make too many consoles? Hypothetically, what happens if you over manufacture? Okay, you just sell them throughout the year.
Yeah,
right?
Not only that, the computer games will be less computer consoles.
But what do? They only make a finite amount in order to drive. Same thing with the Nikes, right? And shit like that. Like you're telling me you couldn't manufacture more? Well, yeah, but if you do, you take away the value of the product. And for some of these companies, the value isn't the selling price. The value is the resale price.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they're not reselling them, but they're getting the clout and it's a status that they now get.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Facts. Okay.
Star Wars. Yeah, what do you think about? Have you heard about the new director they got to do the new Star Wars movie?
No.
You didn't hear about this feminist chick? And they're putting this shit all over the internet. This chick, the director who they have said that her number one goal in life when she makes movies and films and stuff is to upset the establishment and make men feel uncomfortable and basically try to alienate men from her pictures and her movies and her product.
And she's going to be doing Star Wars movies?
And she's doing the new Star Wars movie with the one that's that's supposed to be the one after the last one.
So it was at 7, 8, 9. That's going to be like 10,
number
11,
10.
12. 10, 11, 12 is going to be what? All females?
Well, I don't know if she's doing all of them, but she's doing number 10.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
do you think Disney? I mean, I got to ask the question because it's bound to come up at some point. Is Disney going too far? is Disney going too far with them trying to be so PC correct. You've heard about how much money they're losing, right?
Disney, no.
Billions.
Over what?
Everything they're supporting and all their stances.
They're not really losing that much money, bro.
Look it up,
bro. Because of what's happening here and this and that. I don't.
For the moves they're making,
propaganda.
with the decisions they're making, with all this different stuff that's going on, people are the directors,
like the Ariel being black with the red hair, like
all those, all these different decisions they're making are starting to come and backfire. I think at one point, take a step back and relax. Well, what do you mean, Natasha? With the agenda? Yes, that's what it is. They're pushing an agenda. She's absolutely right. And I think Biden probably left, but he's big onto this. They are trying.
Do you think they're pushing an agenda, or they're trying to cater to the audience, to this new generation? Because this generation is a lot different. This generations are open to different type of gender and identification. This generation is open into all types of sex. Sex is, you can have sex with man or female. They're okay.
I get that, but the thing is this,
which is Bad Bunny's selling point. Bad Bunny's selling point is I'm bisexual. If I want to do this to a man, I can do it. If I want to do that to a female, I can do it. And this generation accepts it.
I get that, and none of that's a problem.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this: they are now putting an agenda onto people, is exactly what she's saying, right? It's okay to have free choice. But when you're taking things and purposely changing them to fit a narrative that you now want that wasn't there before, right? So when you're literally saying, okay, we're going to go forward with an all-female Avenger team, even though the 80 years of comic books, that's never been a thing. There are female heroes, but now their whole focus and centric is about putting them forward. Now they're going to do the same thing with Star Wars.
Like, do you know about female empowerment that they're doing?
Just I don't know how to explain it. Like, you have to look into it deeper for me to explain it. But they are pushing an agenda of different things that is literally costing them billions of dollars. People are stopping their support.
I think the people that having an issue with this are actually, it's white America that's having an issue with this, because I don't see anybody else giving it an issue about it, or the older generation, because basically the older generation is not accepting what the changes are happening.
So do you think you should take something that has 80 years of history and completely change it?
Well, you have to rewrite it.
Well, I guess that's where you and I disagree. So I think that's absolutely false. I think you need, hold on.
The Ariel's always going to be the same.
Yes, that's a pre-established character. If you want to make change, then make a change and give us a new character, right? Develop something to fit your narrative. That's the difference. If you want a narrative, create a narrative. What you don't do is you don't take an establishment and force it into a box because that's what you want. But I'm okay with it if you come out and you say, hey, we're going to create a new character to go into a new character in hypothetically Marvel. Let's just use that example. Okay. Right? We're going to create a brand new Marvel character, never been on screen before. Right. And we're going to create that one and push them forward. But don't take characters like, have you heard about the rumors that they're going to make the Silver Surfer a woman?
Is there such thing as a Silver Surfer and a woman?
Not that I know of. They're also going to make, they're talking about Reed Richards won't be the leader of the Fantastic Four. It's going to be Sue Richards.
Okay.
Right.
That's an interesting take about it.
But that's my point is I just think create something new. That's all I'm saying.
But here's my thing. But here's where I find an issue with it, right? I'm glad that Disney is doing things like, what's the show? The one with the Mexican concept. What's the name of that show? That the kid plays the guitar. Encanto? Yeah, Encanto. And then they did a Colombian or Argentinian.
Coco. You're talking about Coco with the guitar.
Coco, yeah, Coco. And Encanto's the one I think is Brazilian. I mean, not Brazilian.
South American or something.
South American and that. So I'm glad they did that. But imagine you growing up as a kid. Imagine this: you growing up as a kid. You're a little girl. You're growing up as a little girl, and your Little Mermaid has become your favorite thing. But you happen to be Latino, right? Or whatever other race besides white. Now you love the character, but you can't identify with her, right? But now Disney says, okay, we're gonna create a new Ariel, same movie. Let's put it now in let's make her black.
Because that's the thing. Why not give somebody their own? Because you know what? Hold on. I have a niece. I have a young white redheaded niece.
Yes.
Now what does she have?
She has the classic that's still there because it's not like they destroyed it.
But you don't take the young girl who's excited to go see a movie that was going to represent her, if that's where you want to go with it. Now she doesn't get that on live action.
Because she doesn't get it in the big screen.
She doesn't get it in live action
because it's not available in the big screen, but it's available on Disney.
But she doesn't get to see live action.
Available.
She doesn't get a live act. Like you could play that both ways. Like why not create a new character? For instance, you're telling me, hold on. You're telling me if Disney really has this mission, when they created the movie Frozen, did they have to be two white girls?
No, but they're not American white.
Doesn't matter. Did it have to be? Why not? Why can't you do that?
I understand that. That perfect sense. That's a perfect thing,
right? Why do you have to take what's already been done, right, and change it?
Because you want to be able to.
Because you're lazy. You're lazy.
Remember, Disney is about the kids, right?
They're lazy.
Besides lazy writing, which I agree with you on that, being lazy about that.
You don't want to create something new, so let me just revamp something old.
With that, I agree with. But you also wanna say, okay, what would happen if Ariel was black or if Ariel was Latina? Now we already established this fan base.
Then don't call it the Little Mermaid.
Why not?
Because it's not.
It is the Little Mermaid.
Why Marvel does that? Hold on.
Can identify themselves with
when Marvel does when they say, hey, what if something else? They don't call it the same thing.
But here's the thing, though. It's a fictional character. The other thing is this: when Barbie came out, Barbie had to cater. Barbie doesn't change. The only thing is Barbie has different jobs. But Barbie had to cater to everybody because now you have Barbie that plays all races.
So, but hold on.
Barbie was created by white women.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but they didn't get rid of Barbie.
No, they just modified her.
No, they made new Barbies. They made new Barbies.
No, they made the same character, the same Barbie play different roles, and then they changed the pigment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They made new Barbies eventually. They showed in the movie
Barbie.
No, they showed in the movie that the Barbie. If you ever watched the Barbie movie?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
Okay, so you saw that Barbie is not the same as this Barbie. They're different Barbies.
But it's still Barbie.
It's not.
But now they're identifying they're smart enough to identify with the world because the world is diverse. It's time to unify the world, bro. There's no need to like.
You're okay with what is your favorite movie?
Any Bruce Lee movie is my favorite.
Okay, so you're okay with them taking out Bruce Lee and doing away with him and putting Jackie Chan in all of them?
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that.
Or some random guy.
The only way I won't.
Or they put a female character instead.
If I actually like all martial arts, but the only way I would find a problem with it is, for example, you know that movie that movie Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Well, it was a white guy that did martial arts, right? I didn't mind that, but the choreography was so off that bothered me. So I grew up watching kung fu movies that the choreography for me was spot on, and every Bruce Lee movie I watched was spot on, and I'm like, that's martial arts movie.
But you don't think it taints his like the guy that you love in Bruce Lee? You don't think that it taints his memory to go and recast him? Hold on, recast him and redo the movies all with different genders and new age thing, like, but they're gonna call it the same exact movie, and they're gonna play it. They're gonna play it. Not only are they, but they're gonna call it the same movie, and it's gonna be scene for scene, basically the same exact production.
That'd be interesting. It wouldn't bother me though. I'll just be like, it's okay, but I like the original better.
To me, I don't think there's a need. I think you can't, like, I understand that the people were small-minded. I don't disagree that when a lot of this stuff came out, it was a very small-minded world we lived in, right? It was a very small-minded world we lived in. And yes, people didn't use diversity enough. I'm not disagreeing with that, or gender equality enough. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. But for instance, the comic books have done it very well. The first Green Lantern was what? A white guy.
Yeah, but I forgot his name.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Right? And then they came up with another Green Lantern, right? Same superhero, but he was a different person.
Yeah.
And he was black. And he's the one I grew up with, actually. Right? Okay. And so I knew him from the Justice Leagues and everything like that. They found a way to take something and make it new. They didn't just all of a sudden one day say the same person's name is now a different person, is a completely different entity. Like they didn't, you know what I'm saying? They didn't just cheat.
So,
like,
but here's the thing with this. Here's the problem I have with the multiverse. I'll give you the last Spider.
No, that's not a multiverse. This is the same verse.
But I know, but here's the thing that I have with multiverse that I think is lazy writing, or another way. The last Spider-Man movie, Into the Verse, the new one they made, the animated one.
Yeah.
There's all versions of Spider-Man. What's the difference in that? It's a Spider-Man where we grew up, well, at least I grew up with the original Spider-Man, and then I ended up liking Tobey Maguire.
Because they didn't take your Peter Parker that you grew up with and make him a woman or a different person. Like,
they made him a pig. They made him a.
But they're not the Peter Parker you grew up with. They still changed it somehow. It's like saying, hey, this isn't the Little Mermaid anymore, right? They don't call it like the Spider-Man comic wasn't called Spider-Man. It was a different name. So what you could have done is said, hey, you know what they should have done? They should have just said maybe it's Ariel's sister or so. Like, they're not telling you it's a multiverse. They didn't come out and tell you specifically, hey, now if they would have done that, I would have been fine with it. They would have come out and said, hold on.
They did wrong the first time.
If they would have said, hey, Ariel is not this is not a remake of the cartoon. This is an Ariel from a different universe. You know what I would have said? Okay. Yeah, I might not like it.
But isn't that lazy writing also? This is okay. What if Disney comes out and say, you know what? We forgot to mention this. This Ariel movie is a different universe.
Well, you can't say it afterwards. It doesn't count.
Okay.
you gotta have it on the forefront. That's
So it's an alternative world to the this Little Mermaid.
I just like they redid the Ghostbuster movies with women, right? But I was okay with that. You know why? Is you knew it wasn't supposed to be the same exact characters that were in the original Ghostbusters. So like I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get that, right? I get
all females.
Huh?
And they were all females.
And I'm fine with that.
And I didn't get to watch that one, so I don't even know how funny it is.
I didn't get to watch it either, but I'm okay with it. That doesn't bother me.
Me too. I was okay with that.
Because that's different, though. You're telling me it's a different... Sure, you're using a concept, but you created a new story. What I'm saying is these lazy people are taking the verbatim stories and recreating them to push an agenda of a gender or something.
Here's a question, though. Do you think they're doing it to push an agenda, or they're just being lazy?
No, they're doing agenda.
See, I don't.
Disney is doing an agenda.
I don't see it like that.
Dude, you got to look into Disney more.
Yeah, but there's all these kind of controversies since I was a kid about Disney, putting sex symbols all over their covers. There's all kinds of controversies.
No. See, that's what you don't get. That was the people being paid by Disney getting back at Disney.
Okay.
That was, dude, if you remember, like when I remember all that stuff that came out, that was the writers and the artists saying, giving Disney a big FU by adding sex in the word for Aladdin and saying, and having a penis on the cover of The Little Mermaid and all those things. That was those people saying screw you to Disney because of their agenda.
Like that. And to people point it out, and they'll be like, "Oh, you know what? That kind of does look like it." Because
no, it was.
If I don't tell you that's a blue jay bird, you won't know what it is until I pointed it out to you.
Okay, but hold on. That first of all, your analogies are horrible.
Actually, that analogy was bad.
Your analogies are horrible. Right? It takes somebody to notice something to point it out to others. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
people study shit.
I personally don't think they're pushing an agenda. I think there's an agenda against Disney, especially now with this anti-woke thing that they're trying to create, that they're pushing around for political reasons. And then all of a sudden everybody's saying that Disney has an agenda. No.
Here, can I give you an example of what I don't mind?
It's just opening up to a different generation, a generation that accepts a lot of things, and they're just saying, here, we're catering to you guys. Like,
I don't mind that Disney created a brand new Marvel character for the What If series. That's a female.
Oh, there's a second part coming out to that, right?
That's already out. That's what I'm saying. They created a character that's a female Native American character, like Northern. I think it's Northern America, Native American. Never been in comic books, never been in brand new character, never been on anything before. I got no problems with it.
I got to see that.
Because you know what? I thought it was kind of cool. I'm watching a brand new origin story of a brand new character being birthed for the first time. That I thought was really awesome, right? That I think is cool. So like, that's what I'm saying. Do more of that. That's all I'm asking for, right? Okay. Don't take something and try to pinhole it into something. Like I say, don't take the Silver Surfer or don't take the leader of the Fantastic Four and all of a sudden make it Sue Richards instead of, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Come up with something new. I'm cool. That's all. That's it. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of the female characters I think are really Kamala Khan, dude. The chick that plays Miss Marvel. Okay. I think she's one of the best things to come. Like, I know a lot of people aren't into it. Dude, I think she's one of the best things to come out of Marvel in a long time. She is hilarious. There's something about her that I just love to watch. I know a lot of people didn't watch that series and wasn't into it. And I watched Miss Marvel because of her.
You're not talking about Captain Marvel. You're talking about Miss Marvel.
Correct. The young girl, the Indian girl, Pakistani, right? I think she's such, dude, there's something.
I haven't watched that.
She's so charismatic. There's something about her her name's Kamala Khan. She's just a breath of fresh air. She was the best part of the Marvels movie when I went and watched it. Her show, like, she's just amazing, right? Give me more of that. Like, if you want to put those things, like, you want to make her a lead character, they're making her the new lead character, and I'm not even mad at it, right? She's literally out there, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Marvels, the post-credit scene, she's out there recruiting other people to start a new Avengers team.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm not mad at it because she's great. Give me more of those types of things. That's all I'm saying. Don't change things that are established. Give me things that either create new or give me things that are that you write in that were already there, but you're just going to make it better. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So we went down a rabbit hole of shit. So do we still have FOHs? Are we still doing those?
We're still doing those, but I actually don't have an FOH. I didn't think of one. I mean, I've been through some shit, but I don't think it's bringing it on here could say it because they can put two and two together.
No. I got nothing there. I will say, with all this being said, I'm going to be completely transparent and honest.
What?
I am the guy who will still go and probably, 50-50. Pay for them to go see the new Star Wars movie, even though I'm not excited about the way the director is acting and the things she's saying. I may wait for it to come out on Disney. I don't know.
She's probably creating hype, and it's probably not even going to be like that.
So
you got to create hype, but you got to sell it, bro. You got to sell the movies. You got to sell the trailer. You got to sell everything, bro.
Well, dude, they haven't even started a script yet.
I know. So she's out there selling it.
But you're right. It's in the news. It's being talked about. Mm-hmm. So lots of other things in the news that we just don't, out there to distract us. Hopefully this distracts everybody from stuff, certain lists and things going on out there. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we wrap it up then?
No, sir. So are we doing weekly or bi-weekly?
We'll talk about it in private. Let's not just shout it out to the world.
No, we'll talk about it in private.
I'm just saying, like, you know, that's a private discussion for
Yes, sir.
for us.
Thank you guys for showing up tonight.
Thank you, all of you who came in and participated. Even Biden for blowing up the chat with a bunch of nonsense and boonfoolery, but we still love you, Biden. It's all right. With that being said, it was a good time. I had a good time. Good show.
FOH for being broke for the holidays. That's facts.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's been hard out here.
Apple Vision.
When's that release? When you buying one?
February 2nd.
You got yours pre-ordered?
I already paid off I already paid off one of my cards.
I knew you, motherfucker. February, so I got to come in after February to come chill.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna be in the show with it on like this.
Oh my gosh. Somehow you're gonna set it up to your tablet that we see the virtual version of you, not the real version.
If I could do that shit, it's worth it. It is worth it, bro.
All of a sudden you're like, man, Messiah, you looking different.
Hell yeah.
Why is Tom Brady sitting next to you, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in.
Deuces.
Thank you for coming out and watching. We appreciate it. Tasha, everybody else. Being broke after the holidays. Yeah. Oh, that's what you said. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway, yeah. Until next time, we'll let you know later.
We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right